I'm a boy and I'm a man. I'm 18 and I don't know what I want.
To us, it was a combination of comic books, every RKO horror movie we'd ever seen. We were total students of trivial television. We never read anything that wasn't a cheap novel. You know, I mean, we were really the epitome of the American cultureless society. And all we did was we invented this Frankenstein named Alice Cooper that was really a reflection of that.
I gotta get out of this place. I gotta run it with hottest again.
I think the idea of insulting the middle America by changing your name to Alice Cooper and wearing women's clothes and everybody in the band being dead straight, and instead of being dopers, everybody drank beer. We were all American. We were every bit all American. And all we did was we took all the taboos and just put them on the table. We were right at the end of Peace and Love, and all of a sudden here was this shiny new horrible monster that was really fun to watch.
日常世界をはるかに飛び越え、宇宙の彼方までイメージを誘うサウンドが60年代の最後、イギリスから現れます。
Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown.
Among a number of films that made a deep impression upon me in the 60s, I think one of the most important at the very end was 2001, Stanley Kubrick. It was the sense of isolation that I related to. That, in combination with a number of other elements, set the pattern for a lot of the kinds of music that I wrote and the kind of performances that I gave, and probably predicted my lifestyle for the 70s.
This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade. And the papers want to know whose shirts you wear.
I was talking with a friend of mine not so long ago who also came from suburbia. And you're given the impression that nothing culturally belongs to you, that you are sort of in this wasteland. And I think there's a passion for most people who have an iota of sort of curiosity about them to escape and get out and try and find who one is and find some kinds of roots, you know, and both of us got out for the same reasons. For exactly that, a desperation and an exhaustion with the blandness of where we grew up.
デビッド・ボーイの出発点はパントマイムとフォークロック調の音楽でした。しかし69年のスペースオディティ以降、その音楽性は大胆に変化を重ねます。彼はまた私生活の面でも当時の社会を驚かせました。
I knew I had a job in there somewhere, and it was a dirty job, but somebody had to do it, and I was the man for it. Or rather, I was the androgyne for it.
Oh, you pretty things. Don't you know your job?
ボーイの発言は70年代に進む性の解放運動を力づけます。71年のアルバムに彼は艶やかな姿で登場。しかしレコード会社が世論の反発を恐れたため、間もなく地味なイラストに差し替えられました。ステージ活動において彼は次第にアンディ・ウォーホル的な世界に傾倒していきます。
Velvet Underground became very important to me. There was this sort of mixture of rock and avant-garde, Cale's influence of avant-garde, and Lou Reed's very fine pop tunesmithism. He he was a very fine pop writer, and the combination was so brutal.
前衛的な試みを極めた結果はジギー・スターダストでした。
Ziggy play guitar, jamming gun with weird and killing.
1972年、ボーイはジギーと名乗る異星人に扮し、現実と架空の世界をミックスした演劇的な音楽ステージに取り組み始めます。
Ziggy kind of exploded overnight. I think Ziggy Stardust, David had been working on one way or another for a long time, and it was his sort of alien being, his first of all, Ziggy was an alien being. He was like the stranger that we all feel that we are, except he was very beautiful and very seductive, and people wanted to touch Ziggy. David had been experimenting with a lot of looks, a lot of sounds, a lot of styles. None of them had quite clicked until Ziggy. And I think it was really once he got that haircut.
Now Ziggy played guitar.
ジギー・スターダストはイギリス全土で爆発的な人気を呼びます。その成功を支えた一因に力強いギターの響きがありました。ミック・ロンソンの反響音豊かなギターはステージのサウンドに幅と厚みを加えました。
When I first heard him play, I thought, oh, that's my Jeff Beck. He is fantastic. This kid is great. And so I sort of hoodwinked him into working with him. I didn't quite actually have to tell him in the beginning that we'd have to wear makeup and all that. Because Mick came from Hull, you know, and was very down to earth, as was the rest of the Spider. You know, what do you mean makeup? I said, well, you know, it might sort of... And so I reverted to things like... You looked very green tonight on stage. I think if you wore makeup, you'd probably look a little more natural looking. And sort of lies like this. And gradually got them into sort of, you know, areas of costume and theatre. And actually, when they realised how many girls they could pull when they looked so sort of otherworldly, they took to it like a fish to water.
For me, when I was on stage, I was kind of doing what I had to do, you know. I mean, just as a, I guess what I felt I had to do, or I felt like the way I played, you know. I think a lot of people saw it as a very good sort of counterfoil between me and David, because David would be more delicate and a little more woman-like. And I was kind of like stomping along on the side there, a bit more like a, I can't really say bricklayer, but that's kind of what I mean, you know.
I'm very much a character when I go on stage, I feel. I mean, I
like an actor?
Yeah, I believe in my part all the way down the line, right the way down. But I do play it for all it's worth, because that's the way I do my stage thing. That's part of what Bowie's supposedly all about. I'm an actor.
I'm a spaceman. I'll be a rock and roll bitch.
The chief ingredients were to de-violence the look of Clockwork Orange. Evoke